Okay, concentrate, and I bet you've already seen the object that you're drawn towards. This is something that's going to happen very quickly, okay? So don't second guess it. I have time stamped each one: white rock, frog, and cross, okay? Waste no more time, get to the timestamps, and you will get your reading for how they feel about you. I'll see you there. Namaste. Hello lovely people, you chose the white rock. This is really fascinating, and some of you will know what crystal it is, but I didn't feel like we needed that. I just feel like it's the white rock, it's what you're drawn to, and it means that you are using Tarot of the Golden Wheel. This is the deck that is attached to that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take 3 cards which give us a kind of overall energy of your situation with this person. Okay, I'm already, as I'm about to shuffle, getting some feelings about what's going on. Let's get some words to them. I'm going to hello. I'm going to, channel messages as well. Okay, as we go along, I'm going to channel details, anything I can get that's going to help you with the question, how do they feel about you, and answer any of those nagging, I don't know, you've got some kind of confusion in your head on this one. So let's just, wow. Okay, so you are an empath. You could be a tarot reader. You could be doing Reiki, energy healing, or maybe you don't actually, Sorry, I just woofed then because I got the 8 of Wands. Maybe you don't actually do that yet, but I think you might, which is a side issue actually. So this might be on your mind. So I'm just going to say that. You have got the High Priestess with the star. Now imagine that these 2 people in the tarot are very psychic women, very psychic feminine energy. So you will have been having some quite weird and wacky psychic thoughts about this person, which you may or may not have shared with other people. You know what I mean. You might have shared it with your closest friend, but some of the stuff is weird. And also, can I say, expect in the next few weeks to have weird stuff coming your way about this person. It will become the norm in this relationship. It's a relationship of telepathy and flow. And it's kind of telling that this is the only one that's represented kind of by a natural object, I suppose. And all the energies that are held inside this object are really trying to speak. This is all about communication for you with this person and how successfully you can or can't communicate with them. There is a sense here, I'm getting tongue-tied, as in it's coming into my head and I'm getting an image, and this is pretty gross, but I'm getting an image of someone's tongue and they've got an elastic band and they've like tightened it so the blood can't get to it. I know, that's pretty gruesome. It's not what I would normally get, but I think it's the universe very forcefully showing me that this person has not been communicating with you, and that is the great anxiety if you chose the white rock. Okay? Now, High Priestess is somebody who communicates, but she communicates in tongues. Again, it's speaking in tongues. People used to go visit the High Priestess and she would be sitting on some weird throne and like the vapors would come up and she'd do what she'd do. You know, it could have sounded like shrieking, chanting, whatever, you know, she may well have been vaping on there, who knows? But people had to take what they got. So for you, the universe has been trying to send you, what I'm getting is smoke signals. I know. Which is very kind of primitive way of getting in touch with you. In the background here, let's see if we can get it to focus. We've got this new moon. High Priestess very often has the new moon. And she's also holding the key and she's also got an owl. So this is wisdom and it is force. What this is telling me as well is in the absence of the person that you're asking about, in the absence of a message from this person, a talk with this person, a conversation with this person, you are asking the question, should you send a missive? Should you send an owl? Should you send a search party out for this person? It's not the kind of normal question you would ask, but it feels like they've dropped off the edge of the earth. Okay, so the feelings that you have, dramatic as they are very natural. Now, the star in the middle shows that you are capable very much of manifesting. But, and nobody would blame you at this point to have lost some faith in the situation. Because what you're getting in front of you is like tumbleweeds and nothingness. This person, I'm now getting channeled a pair of tight lips, as in they literally have their mouth shut. But I kind of get it that they are clamping their mouth shut. They're not naturally keeping their mouth shut. They are not speaking, and it's almost against their will. This is a person who feels very strongly about you, but has big difficulties in talking. I don't know. We'll have to keep going and have a look. But I wonder if this person has some kind of trouble with their teeth, or with some kind of, they've got quite a strong accent, or they mispronounce words or something. There's something about the vocal, or maybe their handwriting is really difficult to read. There's something about this person and communicating that is a bit broken. I'm now getting an old school television aerial with the antennae bent in half, like someone's whacked it strangely. God, very weird messages for you and this person. This is not a straightforward relationship. This is not in any way, well, it's normal for you two. And it may be normal for you because obviously you're coming across here as fairly clairvoyant, living fairly kind of close to the veil, that you have a sense of the universe around you in more ways than just the 3D. And there may have been quite an unusual start to your relationship with this person, and it may be in quite an unusual situation now. The unusual is usual for how they feel about you. The unusual is usual for how you two choose to conduct this relationship. It will not look good on paper. It will not fit societal norms. Some of you may be quite adventurous in that way. Others of you are just overwhelmed in terms of the downloads you're getting when you're near and around this person, and they're overwhelmed by the downloads they get from you too. It takes them, and I can't help seeing that in this Eight of Wands, although there's the communication, they're also running. It takes them into flight mode. This is a person that I think has lived their life in, you know, when you have your responses, you flee, you fight, or you fawn, you kind of freeze, you roll over, you stop. This is a person who has a disorganized attachment style. If you don't know about that, and I bet you probably do know about that, Google it, put it into YouTube. There'll be some people who will give you an explanation of disorganized attachment style. It's very difficult to stay on board with someone who has a disorganized attachment style, especially if it doesn't really match yours. You may be anxious attachment. Most people who know about things, who are quite psychic, are usually anxious attachment empaths, and that's what I'm getting for you. I know, and that's not a criticism because I'm one as well. It's just, you've got to be realistic about these things. You know, you communicate in lots of different ways with lots of different spirits, beings, the universe, and you always have done. So it's not unusual for you to be in this situation with somebody, and in lots of ways you can do with it quite well. But what you're finding, and I'll take a couple more cards, what you're finding with this person is radio silence, and you're not used to that. So you may find with this person that you know when they're around you or when they're thinking of you. But recently the channel seems to have gone quiet, okay? People might think you're mad if you try and explain this, but I do get it. Let me take, I want a couple of cards for the obstacle. I might actually dip into the shadow deck, yes. If this resonates with you, White Rock people, there will be an extended. There's an extended to each one of these. And we will then go even further than we go in this reading, take all the cards that come up in this reading and we channel more messages. And we get a bit more freaky, which might suit you more because you seem to be into the freak, okay, in a good way, as am I. So if you want that, it will be in the description box. It's all listed with the timestamps. What do we need to know about this pause in communication, this lull? Why is this going on? It feels awkward, that card. Of course it feels awkward. Cripes. Two of Cups. Woof. Now, there's like, it looks to me like a very large full moon behind these people. And I noticed here the new moon or new-ish moon. It's just kind of 3 or 4 days into it here. Moon phases are going to be a big deal. You are both lunar people, regardless of your astrology. You are both lunar people rather than solar people. This is a lunar relationship. I know. It's a relationship that brings in what we call night forces. Night forces are shadows rather than light, silhouettes rather than seeing things. Shadows in the cave, as Plato called it. This is a relationship of reflection. You tend to reflect each other's energy. And I think it almost goes in an ebb and a flow, a bit like the sea. And it's good that you reflect each other's energy. It makes complete sense to reflect each other's energy. The Two of Cups as a shadow card is deep as F. It really is. It's... oof. It can speak of like past life energy. It sort of speaks of, and this is really strange again, that somewhere there is a perfect place. You could get there by meditation. Right, okay, my brain is going about 1,000,000 miles an hour and I'm just going to grab a deck out of here, which I don't know if I've ever used before, but I'm feeling like I need to. Just for you. Look, it's never been opened. Okay, it's a moon deck. So somewhere there is like a perfect, but like a hologram of you and this person doing what you should be doing, getting on like you should be getting on, you know? The way to access it is not in the 3D. This is a very 5D bridge if you want to mend this. It wouldn't be for everybody and it won't be for people choosing the other objects, I wouldn't have thought. But for you, that star card, the High Priestess card, means that you have to meet this person almost on the other side of the veil. So getting to talk to them, you could meditate and do like the whispering technique, you know, where you place this person wherever you feel comfortable placing them in your mind, like in their room, in your room, in the room you share, in the forest, in the woods, in a chair, doesn't matter. It's wherever your brain doesn't object to going to, and then you make them look really peaceful, and then you literally go up, you pull back their hair, you whisper in their ear really gently, and you ask them a question and they will give you an answer. We don't know what the answer is and we don't even know if you're going to like the answer, but that's not the point, and that is your moon card under there. So we get a full moon, we get full moon in Taurus. Your dreams with this person need a practical plan, okay? So the issue, depending on you, is how to bring this relationship from the 5D more into the 3D, because what's happening in the 3D, and you also get, interestingly, because that's the next one, the answers you need are coming full moon in Gemini. That is a full, when you get a full moon in Gemini, it really does speak to you, okay? I'm going to put these up here and I'm going to take a couple more cards for your person, taking a couple of shadow cards for your person as well. What is the reason why it seems so far away? Oof. 8 of Swords. This is a person who overthinks, that is caught up in their head. And the 6 of Wands. This is a person who has lived with some disappointment in their life. So it feels like there may have been insecurities in their home life. One parent might have left early, or they didn't have a very secure attachment in their early life. This disordered attachment style that this person has means that there are times when they can be very intimate and very close to you and very good at communicating. But there are also times when they go into hermit mode, and I'm really getting hermit mode for this person. At the moment, they're in like hermit mode turned up to 11. And you could definitely feel them more easily than you can see them. You could, and this is an interesting thing to do, sounds really crazy, but it would work. You could meditate and go to the cave, because that's where hermits go, and sit with this person and make a fire and just sit there with this person as long as you can keep it in your head as a vision of sorts, and you both stare at the fire. There's a wisdom there, and it will shift something. I know it sounds completely mad, but you know, lots of things are completely mad. It's probably already driving you mad. I'm going to take 3 more cards for where are you at? How do they feel? Where are you at? Wow, this is cool. Oh my God. Okay. Nice. First card you get is the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is somebody making a choice. There's a lot of fire here, because you also get the 3 of Wands for how do they feel. So that is a great sign, and I'll tell you why. When you get the 2 of Wands, but then it multiplies and it turns into 3, it has more strength, and it shows that things are going in a very positive direction. Okay, it's picking up speed, the fire is growing, the passion is growing, there's a decision to be made, but it looks like the decision will be to move forward. Now, anything to do with Wands can be a bit haphazard, so this is not a particularly organised way to move forward. So if you're looking for a very conventional sequence with this person, you're probably barking up the wrong tree. This person, because of their disordered attachment style, is disordered. They don't follow the normal pattern of other people. And you need to be careful of this, because you want to make sure that doesn't bleed into any kind of treatment of you that is less than you deserve. This person, when they're lost, could kind of, I don't know what the word is, get very self-involved about it. And it's best to give them space at that time. Nothing good will come of that. So if they're getting into that self-involved space, give them a wide berth. Just disappear for a bit, and you will find that this person responds incredibly well to space, to when you disappear. Now, it depends on you and what star sign you are, what kind of person you are, what your love language is. If you need someone to be absolutely present all the time, you can hear their voice, they're always present, you can rely on that, this is not your person, which is interesting because you've chosen a rock. And often people refer to this person is my rock, you know. But this person can still be your rock, but it's like a crystal. It's got lots of different facets. The way they feel about you varies from night to day. It varies all the time. This is a multifocal person. They are very interesting, and they're very interested in you because, and this is one of the weirdest readings I've done in ages, you are a shapeshifter. Now, I don't know if any of you've got some Gemini in your chart, because a Gemini can literally be in two places at once. But you have the ability to be a shapeshifter. Every time you see this person, you're different. I will bet, and you must leave me a comment about this, I will bet that when you see photographs of yourself, you're virtually unrecognisable because you don't have one identity. Now, it depends what you want in terms of complementing that, and it depends on your attachment style. If your attachment style is very anxious, this person will give you a lot of excitement, a lot of good chemistry, chicka chicka, but it will always be a little bit of a roller coaster, okay? If you have a more secure attachment style, this could be an absolutely fantastic pairing with this person because you will be the rock. Not everybody wants to be the rock. If you need a rock, probably not with this person. If you want to be the rock, could be amazing with this person. They go through different seasons, they go through different tides, they change, and so do you. Then we get the Page of Cups. I love the hairdo on this card. He's got a wolf cut, ahead of his time. So this is coming out of the cave. Expect with this person, especially if you've given them space and time, that they will re-emerge with something. You can never tell when, and you can never tell, although you're getting a lot of full moons. And you've got full moon in Taurus, full moon in Gemini. So remember, we've got earth and we've got air with that, which makes a lot of sense with this person. It would be best to expect or to even manifest something to come up in terms of the full moon. Because look, we've got full moon here in the star card, full moon here in the Three of Wands, two full moon cards in the Moonology. Yeah. Full moon is good for this person. I know it makes some people a bit wacky, but for this person, it brings out their emotions. Okay, you get the full force of their emotions. Oof. I'm liking this. In the extended reading, I can tell because I can't even speak. We're going to channel like mad, and it's going to be a bit crazy, but I think that is a space that you and this person need to crawl into. It's a very 5D orientated relationship. You already know that because you've got the High Priestess and you've got the Star card, and this person sees you as their equal in this, which is a very interesting pairing. Oof. Leave me a comment about your situation. Let me know your astrology as well if you want to. Obviously, if you want to keep it private, that's fine. But I love seeing everybody's astrology and knowing, you know, how it works for people and what happens in your star sign. Let me know your situation if you want to, if it's not too private. If you want to come with me to the extended, have some fun with the channeling, get the link from the description box, and I'll see you in a sec. Namaste. Sometimes you don't know which deck to do, and sometimes you absolutely do know which deck to do. And with yours, froggy people, you've got the lovely, isn't it gorgeous? Look at those eyes as well. I love a bit of bling. Yeah, sometimes you just know. You're like, it's going to be this one. And for you, it's Morgan Greer. That's it. That's your deck. So, how do they feel about you? Let's have a looky-see. Shuffle. That's one for you. Oh. Maybe I'll put it where you can actually see it, shall I? Yes. Okay, we start with the world. I'm taking 3 cards to get like a kind of an overarching feeling. Oh, it feels like that one. Ooh. Hanging in the balance. Wowzers. Okay. World card is pointing to an entire cycle of a relationship. And this is weird. So this gives me kind of a feeling that you are moving out of one cycle of this relationship and moving into another cycle, but it might actually be mentally a bit stuck. This is the last card of the Major Arcana, and whenever you're ending a cycle, you're beginning another one. So it's like the snake that eats itself. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but all I'm getting is Uranus. Ouroboros, that's it. Uranus is Vic Reeves, isn't it? So you get a snake that is eating its own head. And it's like in my end is my beginning. One cycle closes out, another one naturally opens up. I feel like a snake shedding its skin would be a very good symbol for what's going on. I was reading something yesterday about what caterpillars go through in order to become butterflies, like a metamorphosis. And they almost kind of have to destroy themselves before they come back out. And the snake, I don't know if you ever watched a video, it's not the greatest thing to watch. A snake shedding its skin, it's quite an effort. I mean, that thing is really going for it, writhing around. And I feel like you are making a lot of effort. There's a lot of thinking going on. I would say overthinking. You know, if you were a computer, you'd be overheating. If you're a car, you'd be overheating, steam coming out of the bonnet type thing. You've got 2 cards with blindfolds on, interestingly enough. I think those are the only 2 that do blindfolds as well. We've got the new moon symbol. I know it's not completely new, but it's like newish moon. And we've got somebody with 2 swords that are equally crossed, 2 ace of swords. It feels like there is a mental stumbling block as to how they feel about you, for both of you. This card always comes when there appears to be 2 different directions you can go in. One could be stay, one could be go. One could be leave, one could be, you know, reunited. So it could be polar opposites. But the more important thing for me when you get this card is that there is a third way, which is kind of being done now. Let's say this was like when you see roadworks and they're doing a bridge, and I'm getting a real image of this, and the bridge isn't built. So it kind of just stops halfway through until they get the chance to finish it. So you're at about a halfway through point here. And also there is some element of decision about how they feel about you that's going to become, I want to say, more urgent, and I don't know why yet. Let's take a couple more cards. If this resonates at the end, there will be an extended reading for each one of these, for each object. So if you get to the end of this and all the cards are out and you have more questions, or it just really resonates, that link will be in the description box where the timestamps are. And in that one, we get even more freaky. Channel messages from your person. Look at, ooh, that's interesting. Look at the cards that came up in this reading and just go to town, really. Wow, oh my God, okay. I'm reading this almost like a storyline. Let me just get that one. Okay, good. Six of Cups. The Six of Cups comes up when it's a very sort of karmic soul contract, when there's a kind of feeling about a relationship with somebody. We don't know how we got here. Sort of star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet, you know, that kind of destiny. There's destiny in your relationship. So it's destined in some way. Very tricky when you get destiny interfering in the human world, because we're not very good at destiny, because all we kind of have is now, and we sort of have what came before. But when you get the Six of Cups, know that the past is informing the present. So this can happen if this person had drifted out of your life and they come back into your life. This can happen if you get the feeling when you met them that you'd known them all your life, or that you'd known them before. It's got a kind of finishing each other's sentences vibe in a sort of hometown sort of a way, but I feel it goes further than that. I feel like it's more of a spiritual tie. And then we've got the Tower. Oh my God. I'm going to take another card for the Tower. What feeling I'm getting with the Tower is it needs to be broken to mend itself. So if you're taking time apart from this person, or if they're asking for time apart from you, or if time apart has just thrusted itself upon you for some reason, and it's that card that we want that's hiding there. It's not really hiding, to be fair. Ooh, yes. If you're taking time apart, I think that's a very good thing, but it won't work just in and of itself. So let's say you're in no contact with this person. That won't do it on its own. What is this lightning strike, please? Oh my God. There's a lot in this Tower, people. Right. 10 of coins at the bottom of the deck, which we like very, very much, because it shows you there's something coming that relights the fire rather than burns the house down. There you go. I channeled it in the end. So for the Tower, we start with the Emperor. The Emperor is divine masculine energy, and it's somebody's ability to step up and take charge of something. One of you is going to be able to take charge. However, it doesn't necessarily need to be one or the other of you, because we've also got this rather wonderful Two of Cups to go with it. The Emperor plus the Two of Cups means someone takes action, and this is a very equal relationship. The downside of that is that if you're in a very bad mood with this person, you do mirror each other quite well, which is great when it's great, but difficult when it's difficult. So if you're giving them the silent treatment, they're going to give you the silent treatment. They can do everything you can do. It's like I can do, you know, that song, which you can't sing here on YouTube, but they can match you, and they want to match you. They enjoy matching you. They have a good feeling about it. It makes them feel good. How they feel about you is that you're a good match. But we have the Ten of Wands with it. Now, I very often, as a tarot reader, get two tens. So I get the Ten of Coins with the Ten of Wands. That's an interesting combination. The person that you're dealing with feels overwhelmed and a bit angry in some way. You know, there's a certain brassed off quality about this person. They've got a heck of a lot on their plate, in their life, on their plate, however you want to put it. Some of them may be very anxious or stressed or almost burnt out by their situation, by their work situation. And when they're trying to get away from that, I feel like they numb out. So they may do that in a variety of different ways. You know, we all have different ways of numbing out. But as part of that, they might kind of numb you out at the same time. And that's quite difficult to take. But for them, it's part of a process. I like this. I like the fact that we have the 10 of coins. I like that's the future card. And it's also a future that is very concrete. So if you're asking how do they feel about you, you've got this, which is a sense of I've known you all my life, I've known you before. And you've got this, which is we share the same space, we are the same people, we are a unit. It's like a family feel. The Emperor means that somebody is going to be ready to step up, which I like, because I think that might have been lacking. This energy that you get with the Two of Swords is the energy of what my mum calls neither nout nor summit. You know, you're not here, you're not there. It's not doing this, it's not doing that. No one's actually made a concrete decision about it. This person is asking for understanding about everything that's on their plate, in their world, you know, on their horizon. It feels like they're asking for support, time, space. Okay, whack that over there. I like the look of this for you, my froggy people. But I can see that there may have been intense periods of confusion, or maybe just a feeling that nothing's happening. You know, why is nothing happening? Or why? Ambivalence, I think is the word. So, what's the obstacles? Six of Swords. This is a person, you're dealing with a person who finds it hard to make decisions. Can you see we've got two twos here on top of each other? We've got that Two of Swords, which is the ultimate in can't move forward, can't decide. And then we've got the Two of Wands, which is the world is my oyster, I've got the globe in my hand. We could go anywhere we wanted, and so I can't decide, there's too much choice. They feel very responsible for the trajectory of the relationship. They feel very protective towards you, which I really like. But at the same time, that protection restricts them in some way that they find difficult. Yeah, there it is. I felt that card coming up. Something happened with this person. Seven of Swords. Something happened with this person. Let's get a shadow card for that, shall we? I have a feeling you already know what this is. This is not a surprise, the Seven of Swords, because it isn't a surprise to me. It's that one. What do you want? Okay, Page of Wands. And it's that one. No, not that one, that one. Okay. Here's the shadow cards for that Seven of Swords. We got the Page of Wands. This is about someone being enthusiastic, getting started, running around, making stuff happen. The person that you're dealing with has quite low energy at the moment. They're overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed in lots of ways. They have their eye on this Two of Cups. They have their eye on the connection, but their body's kind of checked out. They are very, very physically overtired with whatever they've got on. Page of Wands is a card of freshness, of energy, of optimism. This person might even have a touch of depression or a feeling that they can never get everything done. They can never get anything right. The next shadow card is the Empress, which is very interesting because, of course, we had the Emperor before. Divine feminine energy. They are somehow dealing with feminine energy. Could be their mother, sister, it could be an ex of theirs, a friend, a child. There is someone who is dependent on this person, which doesn't fit very well with what's going on with you. I feel like, so they might be going through a divorce or something is going on where they're trying to kind of separate who is responsible for what. It could even be in their own family and their family history. They could be arguing with their mother or their sister about, you should be doing this, I should be doing that, this is your fault, that's your fault, whatever. Old kind of family stuff. And then we get the Nine of Wands as a shadow card. This is a person that cannot take any more stress. It's like they have the connection with you and they've put it into a box. And it's a very, very nice box. And they very much want to get back to it. But something keeps them that they're quite angry about. They're quite angry that this is keeping them. That one. Oh, don't hide from me. Hang on. There it is. King of Wands, that's very much like the Emperor. This is a person that is going to rise up and take charge of this situation. So that's a good thing to know. But their behaviour at the moment doesn't particularly advertise this fact, which is why you might be feeling anxious. We get the Chariot as well. Two horse. This person is pulled in two different directions. Look at all the twos that we've got. They are finding it hard to see a way out. They're finding it hard to protect you from their mess, whatever their mess is. And then here we've got the Chariot. Two horses going in different directions. Major Arcana. They are a person that is very passionate. King of Wands is a very passionate person. They have a lot of masculine energy, actually, that they want to push something forward, but at the same time, they want to get it right. And they may, in the past, have let you down a bit here. They might not have told you about something. They might have not been able to manage something. They may not be able to stand up to someone in a way that's honoured you, and it might have made you annoyed or angry and they felt like they didn't protect you. They may feel, if their self-esteem is very low, that you need protecting from them. We have the Queen of Pentacles at the top, which is how they see you. Patient, they have you on a bit of a pedestal. They kind of have a bit of an I'm not worthy vibe going on here. And then we have, I love this card, the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody wants you to know they're working on it. But the Eight of Pentacles is a card of increment. Always has been. It's chip, chip, chip. I'm chipping away at this. So if you're feeling impatient, get ready for a bumpy ride, because this is going to be a bit longer than you think. In the extended reading, I'm going to have a dig into that Seven of Swords. Of course I am. I'm going to look into the Six of Cups. I'm going to look into what the contract is between you and this person. I'm going to look into the Two of Cups for them, and also what burden they're carrying. Very, very interesting. Okay, I'm going to grab another cup of tea and head over and do the extended. If you want to join me there, it's in the description box under the timestamps. And I'll see you in a mo. Namaste. Hello, people who chose the cross, and it's sparkly as well. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I have a feeling with this one, and I know exactly which cards to use, which is great. We're going to use the Mythic Tarot here. I have a feeling there is a lot of in between the lines going on. I don't know if it's because it's a cross, because it's spiritual. Got to put it somewhere I can see it, even though it's the same colour as my cloth. Yeah, it just feels quiet. You know, when you go inside a church, particularly like in the UK, if you sort of stumble into a country church, there is a quietness. You don't want to shout. You don't want to raise your voice. You know, you feel, you know, whether you are in inverted commas religious or not, you kind of feel humbled. Something about your connection and how they feel about you is that. So I'm going to be very interested to find this out, actually. Let's just go a bit further to the outside. We've got the Four of Pentacles. So you may find, I'm taking 3 cards that give us like an overall, overarching view of how they feel about you, okay? Gosh, excellent. Got the Emperor as well. Oh my God. Wowzers. This one wants to be into the action, so we'll start with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a card when somebody, you can see it's like the breath of an idea. Somebody knows they want to say something, but it's in the beginning stages of it, okay? So don't get excited that someone's going to suddenly, you know, find themselves a guitar and start doing a song, you know. What was that in? It's been in, well, Romeo and Juliet, I suppose, with the balcony scene. This is not that. This is somebody who is getting a whiff of an idea that they want to say something. But do you know what? We're not going to kick it out of bed because it's in the right direction. This is where somebody forms an idea. They form a plan. They have a little inkling. And depending on how emotionally literate they are, and I think as well, because the Four of Pentacles, there's always got somebody holding on to something in the Four of Pentacles. So there's a sense in which somebody, I always call this, is emotionally a bit constipated. They kind of want to hold on to something. They don't find it easy to let go. You probably already know this about this person. It just has a sense of not quite being ready to put their cards on the table. But I like the feeling. There's a nice feeling to it. So I think I would be tempted, I know it's early days of the reading, but I would be tempted to say that I wouldn't be inclined to push this person. I don't think they need it. Even if you are, you know, I think you definitely are more emotionally literate than this person. More emotionally mature is what I'm trying to say. But even so, and even though you're a bit further down the line than they are, I would be inclined to give them a lot of this breath room. You know, I wouldn't be asking an awful lot of questions one on top of the other. I do feel like, you know, this is a good wine. It needs room to breathe. And it's a very nice, strange feeling I'm getting about your connection with this person. It feels like clean air. So if you imagine, you know, when you see pictures of Switzerland, maybe you live in Switzerland, so shout out in the comments if you do. But you know how you see the alpine air and it's like, it just looks so clean. So I like the beginnings of this. There's somebody in the beginnings of forming sentences, maybe even sending a text message but deleting it, you know, and then trying to do it better. This is a person who carries their cards close to their chest. They're not a blabber. They may not even really be into public displays of affection either in a big way. They're quiet about things, But, I could definitely say for you, cross people, that when nothing is happening, everything is happening. So don't look for razzmatazz. Look for silence. And that's really weird, because there's two kinds of silence. There's companionable silence and relaxed silence. And then there's the very unrelaxed silence where our anxiety levels are starting to climb. We've got the Emperor, which I really like. The Emperor is a kind of a divine masculine energy, but it's also about somebody getting on with things, somebody starting to take charge, somebody starting to say, I want to initiate this. This is what I want. This is the direction I want to go in. This is what I'm looking for. This is how I feel, you know. The Emperor is representative of star sign of Aries because they're the first of the wheel of the zodiac. So they're the one that's cardinal. They're the one that's making plans. Let's do it. Come on, let's go. So I feel like this person is going to, and I think it's a bit slow, so I'm not going to tell you it will happen quickly because it won't. They are working their way up to saying something, but more importantly, and it's always this when you're looking at somebody and what they're doing, look at what they do, not what they say. They're looking at doing something. Hurrah. Okay. Now, that other lovely card that we get just there is the Ace of Cups. Fantastic. Gorgeous energy with the Ace of Cups. We have here Aphrodite or Venus, and I've put her in a gold dress just for YouTube, which matches her cup, which isn't too bad. It's pretty good art for me, actually. So, Aphrodite, Ace of Cups. There is something, because it's an ace, there is always something new about the Ace of Cups. So this could be a relationship in which there's been a lull, in which there's been a bit of a tired atmosphere, or nothing's been said, or you felt like something is amiss, or whatever. It feels like this is a breath of fresh air. I keep getting breath. I don't know if you're into yoga and you've been doing some breath work or something, but I'm getting breath, and I'm getting take my breath away, I'm getting breath of fresh air. All of those things are coming in. It's very pleasing to see the Ace of Cups because it has a sense of innocence and a sense of new beginning. This can be an uplift in a current relationship, and it can also be something very new starting, which both of those are good things. We're definitely not going to kick it out of bed. We like that. Okay. What are the obstacles that we need to know about? Are there obstacles that we need to know about, please? If you get to the end of this and it really resonates, there's an extended reading, as there always is. There's one with each of these. In the extendeds, we go a bit crazy. So we look at all the cards that came up for this one, and we channel messages from your person, and we look in the nooks and crannies of a situation and really get down into it. So if you're interested in that, if this resonates, it will be in the timestamps bit in the description box. Obstacles. The Star. The Three of Wands. Woof, that's interesting. Let's just move more along. Ten of Swords. Interesting to get the Ten of Swords as an obstacle, always is. The Star. So when we have the Star, it's about reaching for the stars. It's about wishing, hoping, but not in a kind of stressed out, sweaty way. I don't know why, but I'm getting an image of you waiting for a text with your phone in your hand, feeling quite angsty about it. We've all been there, I get it. But there's something about taking your eye off the ball, taking your eye away from what you really want. I think the message I'm getting here from the Star is dare to dream for what you really want. And also manifesting might really, really help in this situation. The cross kind of represents faith. It's not about begging or asking or hoping. It's about manifesting. It's about claiming what is already your prize. So there's something here about, we can do manifesting in many different ways. We can set up a vision board. We can do it on our phone. We can make a scrapbook of it. You can do journaling, which is very, very effective. You can do meditations where you meet this person and you project what you want to happen in the future. I would be very wary if you find yourself, even if you find yourself talking about this person with your friends, talking negatively about it. It's a very difficult urge to control if you're feeling scared, or if you have doubts, or if you've had relationships before where you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's sometimes easier to talk about what could happen, what could go wrong. You've got the Three of Wands, which it feels like this relationship got to a certain point. Could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, or just 1/4 of something. So it feels like it got to a certain point and then maybe there's been a lull. And you're worried about the lull. And there's like a vacuum. And as humans, we want to fill that vacuum. We want to fill that lull. We want to say what we think it might be. We want to speculate. If you're going to speculate something good. If you're going to have some thoughts about it and you have bad thoughts about it, just train yourself to shift them out of the way and have good thoughts about it. It sounds weird, but it absolutely does work. Look at your end goal. It can be so much better than you hope and fear. Okay? The Ten of Swords is disappointment. It's family ancestry as well. So think about whether there was a relative, a person, a friend who often said to you, expect the worst because then you won't be disappointed, or who was very kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop all the time, because I feel like there's a legacy here that you could be carrying into your relationships almost, well, definitely without knowing, because we're not going to volunteer to carry that into our relationships. Okay. What more do we need to know, please, about how they feel about us? What's going on with this person? Seven of Wands. Nice. Okay. So we get the Seven of Wands, Mars in Leo. It's a fight, and it's normally to do with fighting against other people. You can see it because we've got all these people fighting each other. This person's in a fight with themselves. I know, it's one of those, they could start a fight in an empty room. They are somehow, and they may well have gone quiet on you actually, they are fighting a feeling of something. They are fighting coming forward. They are fighting sending you a message. They are fighting against themselves. We've got the Page of Cups coming in here, which again, like the Page of Swords, this is the beginning of forming words. The breath is there. They want to say something. The Page of Cups is the beginning of the feelings. They feel something. This is a person who almost doesn't know what their feelings mean. They don't really speak the emotional language that you do, or maybe that a lot of people do. They don't understand when feelings crop up. You may have had a misunderstanding with this person in the past. You may be in the middle of a misunderstanding with this person now. It may be very frustrating because when you think you've got through to them, it's like they're speaking a different language. Nice. Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. This is good. Okay. Six of Wands. they see a way forward with you. There is a way forward. There is a winning situation. Success looks different for everybody. Success for this person and for you would be to be in the same room at the same time, having a deep discussion where both of you were emotionally on a par, okay? Now, we don't live in a perfect world and neither of you are perfect people, so it may not come out that perfectly, but don't let that stop you picturing what you want. This person has a strange way of showing their feelings, which you probably already know. And if you're feeling good about yourself, it probably comes across very sweet, almost cute, very funny. If you're having a bad day or a bad week, it may come across as a bit thoughtless, okay? You are not, you know how some people are like, oh, we finish each other's sentences, you know, it's like we're two halves of the same whole. No, you two are quite opposite. And of course that can work really well. It works really well when it works, but when you have a misunderstanding, I'm getting an image of you trying to decipher actual hieroglyphic tablet. Please let me know if that resonates with anyone, because actually it's quite funny. It kind of, yeah, I can almost hear you saying it. 9 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo. Celebrate your independence. This person, it makes them feel very comfortable, and obviously it's very good for you either way anyway. This is about being 100% yourself and not dulling the shine or hiding any of your eccentricities. This person actually has the ability, and I think they might be a bit geeky as a person, and maybe you're a bit geeky too. I mean, I'm a bit geeky. I've got a t-shirt with I Love Geeks written on it in my drawer. You could really geek down together. But they're quite a logical person. You're going to need to be in your own lane. No emotional drifting over. They're a very logical person. You can rely on what they say, which is actually very nice. But when it comes to the nuances of how to say it, they might just be a bit blunt. But something about you being yourself is going to really help that. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. This person is not a fast mover. And also, I would say, do not rush them. It won't work. It will backfire. Page of Pentacles is a lovely card because this says, I'm growing through all my 4 seasons. Okay? You don't rush it like you can't rush the crops. They get planted. Pretty much they're going to come up unless there's some massive thing happens. Page of Pentacles is there, always with the pentacle. They turn up, they're consistent, they're gentle, they're kind. But they're not quick, they're not good at chatting people up, they're not, you know, they're not the one streaking across the dance floor with their moves. I don't even know if people do streak across dance floors anymore. Let me know in the comment section. You get the Ace of Swords. They've got something to say and they want to put it clearly. And, you know, the image that I'm getting is of them writing an algorithm to be able to say it. There's this, and whether they're actually computer-minded or not, they want to get it right. I swear to God, this person has put together an email or a text and taken it apart and rewritten it. Nice. You get the King of Wands. Tell you what I get for that, if I'm going to be 100% with you. This is somebody who's quite quiet, quite geeky. The King of Wands might be somebody else. This person also might fear that they are not, and maybe they're not, good for you, the only person in your book. Okay? Oh my God. King of Swords, Mr. Logic, fights the King of Wands. We'd all pay to see that, wouldn't we? There may be a little bit of rivalry here. Cripes. This person is a person who can be jealous and will never say it. Oof. Love that card. They fear that you are out of their league. They fear that they are not able to say their feelings properly. They think that everybody else can. They feel like a bit of an outsider. Maybe you are both a bit of an outsider. Outsiders are always the most interesting people in my mind. There will come a pressure point with this situation where somebody will be compelled to talk, even if they've kept it quiet up to now, okay? So you can just rely on that, but that might be like a full moon blurt where somebody has kept everything stuffed up and then it all comes out. I mean, it might be music to your ears to actually hear it, to hear their feelings. They keep their feelings like they keep their packed lunch, you know, in about 5 different Tupperware containers. And then sneaking in at the end here, we've got the 6 of Cups. There's quite a lot of destiny between you and this person. It feels quite destined. But at the same time, it needs a very delicate touch in order for it to happen. And the delicate touch must come from you because they don't know how to do that. They're not trained in the emotional nuances that you are. In the extended reading, I'm going to look at the Ace of Cups, the 6 of Cups. I'm going to look at what they're trying to say. I'm going to try and uncover it. And I'm also going to have a look at that King of Wands and the 10 of Swords. What is holding you back? We'll channel messages from your person and we'll get freaky with some cards. So I'm going to get another drink and go and do that extended reading. So I'll see you there in a minute. Otherwise, leave me a comment. Let me know your astrology. I'm always interested in everyone's astrology. Drop your astrology in the comments. Tell me your situation unless it's really private. And I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.